What would you do if your family asked you to sacrifice your happiness for theirs? In today's story, the protagonist's choice is a masterclass in how to handle it. From a young age, my life intertwined with that of my stepsister, Willow. I was just 4, and she 3, when my father married her mother. We grew up together, forming a bond so close it felt like we were inseparable. Our family unit felt complete, a tapestry woven with shared laughter and childhood secrets. Then, at 14, Willow was diagnosed with cancer. For 2 agonizing years, her illness cast a long shadow over our lives, while she eventually made a full recovery. That period transformed my parents into understandably overprotective figures. Their focus narrowed, centered entirely on Willow, and a new weight settled onto my shoulders. I gave up my extracurricular activities, including my beloved high school volleyball team, a sacrifice that brought on a rare tantrum, swiftly met with punishment. The money I earned from my new job went directly to her medical bills, school dances, fun outings. Everything was put on hold unless Willow could be included. Looking back, I realize now, thanks to some much-needed perspective, that what I thought was simply being a supportive sister was actually an abdication of my parents' responsibilities. It wasn't all misery, though. Willow and I shared moments of fun, and our bond deepened through those challenging times. Years later, in my junior year of college, I met Ben. We fell in love, and after graduation, we moved in together, building a life for 3 years. Our relationship was serious, filled with dreams of a future together, until a scorching July afternoon when I walked into my bedroom and found him with Willow. The world fractured, tears flowed, sharp and stinging. Ben moved out, and Willow, initially apologetic, quickly pulled away, leaving me adrift in a sea of betrayal. I thought she was giving me space, understanding the enormity of her actions. Then, a week later, her call came. She asked to meet. My heart, still tender and bruised, hoped for genuine remorse, an understanding of the depth of her transgression. Instead, as we sat in the restaurant, she delivered a blow that eclipsed all others. She and Ben were in love. This meeting, she explained, was merely a courtesy before they broadcast their newfound romance to the world through social media. Distraught, I rose from the table, leaving her alone amidst the clinking cutlery and hushed conversations, my portion of the bill forgotten. A Venmo request for the money arrived later, a cold, transactional end to what should have been a moment of reckoning. My parents, informed by Willow, summoned me. Their disappointment hung heavy in the air, thick and suffocating. They chastised me for not supporting Willow and Ben's relationship. The excuse they offered was chilling. Willow's cancer as a teenager had somehow stunted her social development, leaving her ill-equipped to navigate typical social interactions and find connections. This rationale felt hollow, a flimsy shield against their own culpability. I'd seen Willow socialize perfectly fine, and by their logic, my own social skills should be equally impaired, given how much time we'd spent together during her illness. Then came the ultimatum, a threat designed to sever the last threads of our relationship, accept their union, or face being cut off entirely. I reminded them that I was their daughter too, deserving of understanding, but they remained steadfast, convinced my pain stemmed from jealousy. Let me be clear, I wasn't jealous. The thought of being with a cheater, a person who could so casually betray the trust we had built, was abhorrent. My hurt, deep and pervasive, was rooted in Willow's choice, her decision to prioritize Ben over me, to sleep with him knowing the sanctity of our committed relationship, and to continue with him despite the raw pain she inflicted. Now, my immediate family has fallen silent, and my phone buzzes with accusatory messages from aunts, uncles, and cousins, branding me an asshole and a selfish bitch. At this critical turning point, it became clear that my parents' actions were not just about protecting Willow, but about perpetuating a long-standing pattern of preferential treatment, a dynamic many online commenters recognized as the golden child syndrome. As one comment astutely put it, your parents are and were awful. It was not your job to quit every activity to pay your sister's medical bills and drive her around. The overwhelming support and validation from the online community were a balm to my raw nerves. For years, despite moments of resentment, I genuinely believed I had done the right thing for Willow and my family. I hadn't seen their actions as an abdication of parental responsibility until others pointed it out. It offered a new lens through which to view my past. Then came the update. A twist of fate so darkly comedic I could only laugh. A cousin, stumbling upon my post, offered to shed some light. The truth, when it finally emerged, hit like a physical blow. Willow wasn't just in a relationship with Ben, she was 4 months pregnant. This meant their betrayal had begun much earlier than I had even conceived. My parents' unwavering insistence on my forgiveness, their willingness to sever ties, suddenly made horrifying sense. I was ruining their experience of their first grandchild. My emotional well-being, my heartbreak, was less significant than their ability to post ultrasound photos on Facebook. In that moment, I understood. I called out sick from work, the rest of the day dissolving into a haze of alcohol, a desperate attempt to numb the overwhelming reality. As another commenter aptly stated, having cancer as a teenager is not a valid excuse to be a shitty person for the rest of your life. The story of my family is a stark reminder that sometimes, the hardest lessons are learned when those closest to us reveal their true colors. It begs the question, how much are we truly expected to sacrifice for the perceived happiness of others, especially when that happiness is built on a foundation of betrayal?